Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakadash. Shalom to the elders, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf, and I say Shalom. And this is a quick sit-down lesson that I want to bring out from RT.com as of May the 6th, 2024, especially with the rising tensions between Hamas and the IDF over there in Western Asia. And it reads, Israel launched airstrike on Rafah. Live updates. It says the IDF jet struck the densely populated Palestinian city ahead of a long-promised ground invasion. And I believe both sides came to an agreement. I believe Hamas came to an agreement. They have set the deal. But I believe from the other side of the Israeli side, they haven't agreed to the deal. And then I believe it's a war cabinet from the Israeli side that they was going to continue the ground operation, and there was heavy evacuations was taking place earlier today. Because the time zones are kind of different from over there in Western Asia in comparisons to North America. So we're gonna see how that plays out. Even though the cabinet of the from the administration of the Israeli side of Benjamin Netanyahu, they said they was still going to continue the ground invasion, and they recently did an airstrike over there as well too. So expect to see Hamas going to respond back to that. As the escalation between both sides is only going to continue to increase. I'm going to continue on with the reading. It says the Israeli warplanes pounded targets in the Palestinian city of Rafah on Monday night. Hours after Israeli Defense Forces warned civilians in the area that it was preparing to strike the cities with extreme force. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has threatening for several months to send troops into the city, arguing that such an operation is necessary to guarantee Israel a total victory over Hamas. Rafah is currently home to 1.4 million Palestinians displaced from northern to central Gaza, and the UN has warned that the Israeli invasion would be a catastrophic for their civilians. It says emitting fierce condemnation from the United States, EU, and scores of other countries and international organizations, Netanyahu vows last week to press ahead with the operation. The Israeli Prime Minister also stated that he will proceed with an assault on Rafah regardless whether a ceasefire deal is reached with Hamas. And it says Palestinian Islamic Jihad militants fire rockets from northern Gaza into Israel in response to the IDF strikes on Rafah. The group said in a statement, the Israeli militants said that alarm sounds in the city of Caesarea, but did not state whether any of the rockets made its past Israel's Iron Dome and air defense network.
בואנה איזה בום אחושרמוטה. אין עוד אחד, חלש.
So as you see that little 10-second clip right there, that was a rocket flying past on top of the sky. And it says UN observers have reported seeing movements of people out of Rafah in search of safety that has been many times denied. The UN spokesperson Stephanie Dujarric has told reporters both Israel and Hamas must go to the extra miles needed to make an agreement comes true and stop the present suffering, was added. It says in recent Yeah, it says in recent weeks, some Israeli officials have suggested that they would call off the Rafah operation if Hamas agrees to the release of some roughly 138 hostages, which I believe Hamas didn't fully agree to that. I believe they rejected that offer, that latest offer, though it remained in captivity in Gaza. It says the IDF said it had conducted target strikes against Hamas groups targets in eastern Rafah. Shortly before the announcement, Palestinian sources reported a heavy bombardment, if I pronounced that right, of Rafah, after which the IDF shot flares over the city. It says early on Monday, Israeli aircraft struck more than 50 alleged Hamas sites in Rafah area. The IDF spokesperson, Rear ADM Daniel Hagari, said at a press conference.
هذه الأثناء القصف يتواصل شرق مدينة رفح جنوب قطاع غزة. هذا القصف لا يتوقف منذ الصباح. هذه الأثناء إلقاء قنابل إنارة في المناطق الشرقية لمحافظة الجنينة، بالتحديد منطقة المشروط وحي الجنينة وفي شمال منطقة النصر.
This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Second Esdras 15 and verse 15. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. So with that, hopefully this sit-down lesson was edifying of this recent escalations or continuing to rise between the IDF of the Israel Defense Force against Hamas over there in Western Asia. From RT.com, as of May the 6th, 2024, and it reads again, Israel launched airstrikes on Rafah. It says the IDF jet struck a density populated Palestinian city ahead of the long promised ground invasion. So with that, once again, hopefully this lesson was edifying of this recent news article from RT.com. And with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem HaKarkadash. Shalom to the elders, Wa'akim Wa'akwaf. Until next time, I will say Shalom.